I think many of us are starting to feel a deep sense of frustration and in some cases even rage for a whole variety of reasons. Check this out, leave your comments. And what do ducks and geese have to do with it? Leave your comments, ding the bell, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. You know, how's this going to play out? Is it going to be inflationary, deflationary? Is it going to end up that we're sacrificing 1 million people in America, but hey, they're disposable, we've got our economy back, isn't that wonderful? I mean, these are serious life and death issues that this country is confronting at a time that we have a president who frankly doesn't care about the life and death of anybody except him and his immediate family. And for me, it's producing, and I really got in touch with this yesterday, it's producing something close to rage. And yesterday I had an experience and I suddenly realized how road rage happens, particularly in this era. I mentioned a couple days ago, Louise said to me, she drove out to this garden supply center and got some potting soil and stuff. No contact. They bring it out to your car, stick it in the trunk. You know, everything's good. But in any case, she said that she had two times drivers cut her off in traffic and just drove like absolute maniacs, and were like being aggressive toward her. And she's just, driving maybe 5 or 10 miles over the speed limit. The cops are out in force looking for speeders right now. So, you either drive at the speed limit or you drive crazy, and it's kind of all or nothing. But yesterday, we live on a little channel off the Columbia River, and our backyard is that water. And there's a bunch of geese. There are 3 goose families and 1 duck family that have been not quite nesting, but they've been hanging out on the beach behind our house, and which you can see from our back porch, and hanging out on that beach with their babies. One of them has 6 or 7 goslings, or 4 or 5 goslings. One has 2 or 3. The duck has 1 baby. Started out with a bunch, but they're down to the hawks get them, right? And they feel safe there, and there's food and there's all this kind of stuff. And so yesterday, some guy comes down the beach with his dog. And just lets the dog run down and scatter the geese and the babies, and they're all freaking out and they're jumping in the water, and then the dog chases them in the water, and the duck baby got separated from the duck, and so he's running around inside the channel going cheep 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 cheep, and the mama duck has fled the duck and the dog's in the middle, and Louise is yelling at the dog owner, there's a leash law here. Put your dog on a leash. And he yells back, there's thousands of geese. What does it matter if one of them dies? And several of our neighbors who live on the water came out and started yelling at the guy with the dog, and he was yelling back at them. And I was just so furious. I was thinking, I wanted to find something and throw it at this guy. And I thought, oh my God forbid if I had a gun. I mean, I don't think I'd shoot him, but I'd probably be shooting in the air to try to, sound like tough guy or something. I mean, it's just, and afterwards, as the adrenaline drained out of me, and I was just watching, Louise was handling it very well. I mean, she was confronting the guy and she was calling him out, but, she wasn't doing it with obscenities like I would have. I mean, all these words are going through my head. And after it was all done, I realized, I haven't felt that kind of rage in in years. And the thing that causes most people to feel rage is powerlessness. It's like, I couldn't stop the dog. I wanted to protect the geese. I mean, every morning we go out and look at them, and it's like they're like our pets. And it just hit me, that people feel rage when they feel like they've lost control. And how must it feel if you've lost your job because of something you didn't do? How must it feel if your wages have crashed? How must it feel if you can't pay your mortgage? I'm very fortunate. I'm on Social Security. I got a $3,000 a month income from the federal government, no matter what. And we pretty much own everything that we have, and so we're okay. We're not rich or anything like that, but we're doing fine. And so, but there's probably a third of America is totally freaked out right now. They're feeling as powerless about their economics as I was about the damn geese. And so it shouldn't surprise us when we have road rage and when we have, explosions in self-destructive behavior like alcoholism and suicide. This is rage internalized. And I think that, some of us also are watching the whole Trump show and feeling powerless about that. I watch the news media making incredibly stupid mistakes in covering what's actually going on or failing to cover what's actually going on. And I'm sitting here yelling at my television. Now, it's not the level of rage that I felt yesterday about the guy with the geese, but I'm pretty pissed off about it. And it's starting to infiltrate our lives. I'm trying to figure out how best to deal with this. I mean, I'm back to meditating regularly, a little more aggressively. I've radically cut back. I mean, we're not going to have a glass of wine tonight, with dinner. We just, we're radically cutting back on alcohol. Trying to get a lot more sleep. Trying to be really nice to each other, Louise and I, and to our family and friends. But I think America is facing essentially a mental health crisis right now, as well as a physical health crisis, a coronavirus, and an economic crisis. We're getting it all thrown at us all at once.